You ever tried to buy a used car in your area, looked at the prices, and went, "Eeh." This happens all the time. So your natural reaction is to go online, go look at deals nationwide, and you find cars for thousands of dollars cheaper in other markets, like maybe a car in Florida or Arizona or California, and you're scratching your head wondering, why does this happen? This is a huge trap that a lot of people fall for. So I'm going to explain exactly what could be happening here and how to avoid it. I'm going to give you the three major reasons, and I'm going to start off with the most common one, which is every market has a different pricing strategy. And I'm going to use Florida as an example, as I think it's probably the most prime example for this, which is in Florida, one or two dealerships started to advertise really low pricing, like incredibly low pricing. So everybody was calling these dealerships saying, whoa, I want this car. And they tell you to come on in. And when you came on in, you realized that the pricing wasn't actually the case. It wasn't technically a bait and switch because the car was actually $20,000. But they had a whole bunch of mandatory add-ons and fees, like a reconditioning fee, a tints fee, a $1,300 documentation fee, all these fees that add up. So they're able to advertise really low prices and then hit you with all these add-ons to make their price competitive with the rest of the market. But with the outside looking in, the price seems way lower. The second reason is the car has a salvage title or is a lemon buyback. And this is actually becoming more and more common. More and more cars I see have this. And dealerships are becoming less and less transparent about it. Even when it came down to, if you didn't hear, Cox Automotive made this big deal where everybody's going to use AutoCheck right now. I'm not a big fan of this, and the reason why is I believe AutoCheck is very dealership friendly to the point where they don't even make a big deal about it. Let me show you an example. This is a Carfax. You can see right here, if you look at this Carfax immediately, there's yellow, there's red. This is a big deal. I get this notice and I say, this is the first thing I see when I open up a Carfax. This is concern. I am scared. What is this? I need to learn more. Just to compare this really quick to AutoCheck, the first thing you see is actually how to get pre-approved. Isn't that nice? But actually the second thing you see is that it's a one-owner car and it has a 92 score. The amount of consumers that just stop here is insane. If you go down, you do see that there is a little red alert saying that there is a salvage title, but this does not grab your attention as much of a consumer. And a lot of people would stop at that 92 score and say, yep, that's good. Third reason, and sadly this is the least common, is this car doesn't sell well in this market. I'll use an example. In Texas, people drive trucks and SUVs. They don't drive Camrys. But out in California, guess what? They drive them like crazy because of gas prices. So a car in California might be a different value than it is in Texas. Sadly, this isn't always the case because there's normally a buyer to find something elsewhere, but this can happen. So how do you avoid these things? First off, always read the fine print. There's normally a disclaimer. This isn't 100%. So the second thing you need to do is always get an out-the-door number with a breakdown of what you'd be paying cash for. Third, read the Carfax or the AutoCheck. Whatever you get, make sure you watch this to a T because there is information that can sometimes slide past you. Finally, if you sense there's a red flag, just walk away or hire a company to inspect it.